Daniel here for Tabletop for One and a discussion on hype, bias, and honesty in content creation. And I thank you for joining me today. I'm kind of doing an off the script talk about hype and bias and honesty as it pertains to me, myself as a content creator. I'm not going to talk about any other content creators and how they approach this. Now, as you know, I've done a lot of previews and impressions and opinions and given reviews about games. And I often tend to be very positive about games that I review. And so there always comes into a question of whether or not you can trust my opinion about the game. And there's the discussion about hype and bias, because sometimes I receive a review copy of a game, or sometimes I get a prototype that I get to keep of a game. Sometimes I know the designer, or I know the publisher, or other things that can affect my opinions. So first, let's talk about hype. Now, my goal here on this channel is not to hype things. I'm not trying to be a marketer for the publishers. I know that they use me as a tool to market their games, obviously, because if they send me a review copy, they would like me to do a playthrough and a review. Now, recently, I haven't talked about this, but recently, I stopped promising reviews. I stopped saying I'm going to do a playthrough and a review. Now, you know, I do my reviews after 10 plays. That's a personal requirement of mine because I feel like I can't give a game a fair shake until 10 plays. Previews are different because I'm previewing a game that hasn't been published yet, so I can't exactly review it. So I just give them my opinions on the preview as I see it. But what I'm bringing up here is that I've stopped, agreeing to take a review copy for the sake of a review. I only do it now for tutorial and solo playthroughs. I've decided that I kind of want my channel to focus on those. That's where I want it to be. And I want to separate the review copy experience, receiving it from the publisher, from my opinions. Now, it's not to say that there won't be bias. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I definitely want to just focus on providing a tutorial and solo playthrough with very little opinions. I can't always hide the excitement as I play the game because sometimes I just get super excited and I'm just having a lot of fun while I play. I try to contain it most of the time, but it just, that's just the way it goes. But I try not to offer too many opinions during those playthroughs because I just want to give you the experience of the game, how it works, and what it's like and how the gameplay flow works. And so that's what I promise now. I don't want to be considered as a person who hypes things up. That's not my goal. My goal has always been to help you enjoy the hobby that we both share. I want you to enjoy games more than I do. And I want to provide videos and experiences to help you learn whether you might enjoy a game that I also enjoy. But with that said, let's talk about bias, because bias is real. I'm not going to deny that receiving a review copy shines positively on the experience. It's a fact. It's human nature. I try my best, I really do, to separate that. But the fact is, it's very enjoyable to get a game to review. Now, here's the thing about that. The trade-off is, it's a lot of work to do these videos. I've talked about it before. We're talking a dozen hours to do a playthrough. The Conquest Princess that I have in front of me here, it took me a lot of hours to do the playthrough, to edit it. I think editing was 5 hours, 6 hours, because the actual video, when I recorded it, was 2 hours long. Plus the playing it leading up to the point. So it takes a lot of time. And I don't get paid for that. So while I may have a positive response to receiving a game to play, that kind of goes out the door when I'm actually editing and doing all the work for it. It really kind of balances out, I guess you could say. But there are a lot of biases. But that kind of bias between publisher and content creator is the most obvious bias. But there are a lot of biases that biases that you just don't see. See, here's the fact. I love board games. I mean, I have a huge bias to board games I enjoy. If I enjoy it, I speak much more positively about it than maybe I should, because I just get so excited about games I enjoy. It's hard to contain that excitement, and it comes out and it sounds like I'm hyping things up, but I just have a positive bias towards games I enjoy. And so I tend to only review games I enjoy. Because the fact is that if I really enjoy a game, I'm going to play it 10 times so that I can review it. The other games that I might not enjoy might not get played as often, and by the time I get to review it's going to be a while down the road, and I might not even review it at that point. And that goes to the negative bias. See, here's a negative bias you don't see. I may not review a game because I just don't enjoy it enough to play it because of the time it takes. Now, maybe that's not fair to you because I should provide reviews of games that I don't enjoy. But right now, as I'm building my channel, I'm trying to grow in the breadth of what my content has. And so I'm focusing on games that I enjoy. I'm focusing on games that I look forward to. I focus on the games that are part of my collection that will stay in my collection. I need to grow my channel, so I'm trying to get as many of those games to the table. And honestly, I'm just not going to focus on the ones I don't enjoy that much. I want to enjoy this process of growing the channel, and I do that by playing the games that I enjoy. I hope that makes sense to you. So there's that negative bias that you won't see that I'm explaining here that cuts out games from my queue of games to make videos about because I just don't enjoy them. Now, here's one bias that you probably wouldn't even know. If you've watched my 100th video, I talked about mental health. And I talked about how I talked about how board games have helped me and have I'm sorry, I'm going through a hard time this week. And so talking about depression and mental health, it's really hard. But I'm going to be honest with you. If a game helps me escape or take my mind away from my depression and my dark thoughts and everything I have, everything I challenge with, if a game does that for me, I'm gonna rate it higher. It's just a fact. Okay, I'm gonna be biased towards that game. If a game rescues me, then that game means a lot to me. And so I'm gonna respond positively to the fact that it does that. I'm not gonna tell you. If I rate a game high, it's probably because it has helped me with my mental health and dealing with the struggles that I have. I'm sorry. I don't like crying, and I rarely cry. I cry like once a year. But you need to know if I'm rating a game high, it's because I'm biased towards it because of what it's done for me. It's provided me with not just an enjoyable experience, but an experience that has taken me away from the troubles that I deal with on a daily basis. And so there's bias around every corner. So I'm not going to deny it. I'm a biased gamer. The games I choose to play, I choose because I enjoy them. Because they help me. Because they're important to me. The games I don't choose is because they don't help. They don't provide what I need out of this hobby, what helps me. And so it leads me into my honesty. I don't talk to people about this. I don't talk to people about my mental health and stuff, and I'm trying to be as honest with you as possible. That's what this video is all about. That's what you, my amazing viewers and audience and supporters and subscribers, all of you that made this channel what it is. Without you, I just wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't. And now I'm at 1,500 subscribers as of this morning. I mean, that blows my mind. I started the year with 108. I think it was 108 subscribers, and I'm at 1,500 halfway through the year. I can't thank you enough for the support. So I pledge to you to always be honest about my opinions, to follow these rules that I've set. If it changes, I'll let you know. If I decide to start taking review copies for the sake of doing reviews, I will let you know. Because that's going to change how I approach those views, because bias will be in play. It's a fact. It's there. And at the end of the day, I hope you don't buy games just because I like them. I don't want you to go out and buy games because you watch my videos on them. I want you to enjoy the games that you have. And that's why I've reached out to a lot of you and asked you, hey, what is a game that you have that you want me to make a playthrough for? It's not a game that hasn't been out yet. It's not a game that you don't have. It's a game that some of you do have, and you've asked me, hey, can you make a playthrough for it? Like Spirit Island, some of you asked me to make tutorial videos for each of the basic spirits. Someone asked for Warfighter Modern. I put out a poll recently. We have Super Hot the card game. We have the Deadeye, Clans of Caledonia. All those came from people that I've talked to, my audience, who have reached out to me and say, hey, I have this game in my collection and I need help with it. And I'm so happy to provide that opportunity because I want you to enjoy the games you have. Don't buy it because of me. Buy it because it's a game that you think you're going to enjoy. Buy it because you watched other videos on it, not just my videos on it. Buy it because of whatever reason you decide, but don't make it because of me. It's not my goal to make you spend money. I'd rather you spend the money the way you want to enjoy the hobby the way you do. I don't even care if you play the game or not. If you buy a game just because you want to have it on the shelf, that's fantastic. You're enjoying the hobby the way you do. If you buy a game for miniatures, that's fantastic. You're enjoying the game the way you do. I've bought a few games just for miniatures. So I totally get it. I don't know what else to say at this point. But I'm so happy that you're here with me. I'm so happy that we share this great hobby together. I can't wait to continue having conversations with you, whether on the forums of Facebook or Messenger, or even in just the discussions on my videos. Thank you so much for being part of Tabletop for One, and hold me accountable. Help me make it better. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great night.